Oh, come on.
Hey, Daniel needs a second date update today. Hi, Daniel.
This is awkward, right?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be.
Well, dating has been an adventure. Oh, my gosh. I got divorced a couple years ago after being married for 22 years. And, I'm just getting out there and trying to meet people.
And that's not easy when you haven't been out, unless you were screwing around on your wife the whole time and dating on the side. No, okay. So you've been out of the game for a while then.
Yeah, and it's intimidating. I've been doing Match. I've gone out with a few women. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something that wasn't like connecting with anybody that I'd met so far until I met this last one.
The last one being Susan.
Susan, yes. Wow. And and I'm not a super young guy anymore. I've got the dad bod, and I'm super realistic. I'm not gonna be dating any hot 25-year-olds like some of my friends are trying to do.
Yeah, that's funny,
right?
Yeah.
I figure, look, I'm gonna meet an average lady, just like I'm an average guy, and hopefully all will be well.
So, question for the ladies in the room. If you're out dating, is there an expectation or requirement for him to have a cut, chiseled bod? I mean, at least if he's taking decent care of himself and he's not eating trash.
I suppose it depends on how you live. I don't think it's fair for a woman who's walking around with an extra 60 pounds on her backside to be expecting her man to be all ripped and cut. But if you're a woman that does CrossFit 6 days a week and fitness is a big part of your life and a big part of what you were going to do, then you would want someone to share that with you. And I think, when you start to get into your 40s, you start becoming a little bit more aware of your own mortality and things start to hurt and ache or not feel good, and you just want to be healthy. So I think, if you're of that mind of wanting to live a healthy life, then you're going to want to find someone else who isn't, drinking a 6-pack every night after work and ordering pizza. So depends on who you are.
But I also think dad bods are so much, no matter what shape the female is in, it also feels like dad bods are widely acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a beer belly. Yeah.
I think people do kind of loosen their standards.
I also think that there are certain men, though, that enjoy the chiseled cut, put together bod.
So you're just basically saying that you are looking for someone who is very similar to you.
Yeah, that's actually pretty well said. I'm not in the gym. I should probably, be there a couple of days a week at least. But yeah, someone who's a little more relaxed and not entirely focused on that. That's not to say I don't want somebody who's healthy, right? I'm feeling it in the mornings now. You talk, I feel sore. It's definitely, I have to take care of my body, but just somebody who I connect with. And I just feel like when I met Susan, I couldn't believe it. Because she is like around my age, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Seriously, I almost think she's kind of out of my league because, she's super smart. She's very successful, really easy to talk to, like self-confident. I don't know, just like the way that she carries herself is just super attractive.
She's a catch.
She's an absolute catch. She's traveled around the world. She's like a foodie, and I'm into all of that. But admittedly, you need to learn more. And, through like chatting with her, she just seems like super passionate and talking about places that she would love to show me and places to go out and eat. And she's a cook. And I don't know. I got such positive vibes from her, and we kissed, and I felt the sparks, and I felt like she was right there with me. And, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to call you. And she's like, great. And I call her and didn't receive a call back. And I sent her like kind of a message, just like checking in, and no text, no nothing. And I'm kind of like, I don't understand. I know she might be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Or traveling.
Oh, yeah. Maybe she had an unexpected work trip come up.
Maybe she's overseas.
It's possible.
Well, I feel like she would have said that.
Or told you
that she was going out of town. It's like, oh, man, I finally met someone I really felt a connection with. And now I'm being ghosted at. It's like, oh, my gosh, is this what it's like out there?
So I had an experience once where I called a friend. I wasn't dating this person. I just called a friend of mine, and they didn't answer the phone. They instead texted me on WhatsApp
What?
saying, "Sorry, I can't take your call right now. I'm in a meeting in Belgium."
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
Okay.
well,
No rush.
We could talk later. Is it anything important? I'm like, no. But I don't know. It just felt weird. Like I caught him doing something wrong in the moment. And it turned out to be nothing, but it was just such a bizarre. I felt like I intruded a little bit. I was just calling to say hey and catch up on some stuff. And
That's funny.
that's why I thought, well, maybe she is out of town and she's in a meeting in Belgium. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a break here, Daniel. When we come back, we're going to call Susan and see what she really thought of that date with you and what's been up with her. We'll catch up
All
with
right.
Susan. Yes, the
Thank
second date update continues next with Jeff and Jenn, Cincinnati's Q102. All right. Daniel was married for 20 plus years, so he's a little out of practice when it comes to dating. Nevertheless, he met Susan on Match and is just really taken with her. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's funny. She's world traveled. She's into all the same things he is: food, wine, you name it. And he felt real chemistry with her. They kissed on the date. He walked her to the door. She seemed into possibly getting together again. But when he tried to reach out, you know how these things go. As always on second date update, you think it's going great, and then you never hear from them again. And that's exactly what happened here. Daniel tried to reach out. No response from her. I suggested maybe she's traveling out of the country and she doesn't have an international plan. I don't know. But Daniel, unless there's anything you left out that you think could be pertinent.
I've racked my brain. I don't know what else to say. I'm just curious what's going on.
All right, let's call Susan.
Hello?
Hi, Susan. It's Jeff and Jenn at Q102. How are you this morning?
Oh, my God. This is not happening.
How are you?
I am really surprised right now. Wow. Okay.
Well, it sounds like you're a fan.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, my gosh.
Well, thank
This
you.
is awesome. This is crazy.
The whole gang is here. We got Fritch. We got Tim.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hi. Hey, girl.
Hi, guys.
So, are we
Oh, my
catching you at a
God.
bad time? Are you busy? Are you traveling, maybe? Are you in a meeting?
No, I mean, I'm unpacking. I just got back from New York. I've been, doing this, training class. I'm exhausted, but this is, a sudden jolt of energy. This is so fun. Oh, my God.
Look at that. We're bringing energy to the room. I love it.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, first of all, how was New York?
It was, it was New York. I mean, it's not what it used to be, but
Right.
the work is all encompassing. You have write-ups at the end of the night of how everything went and where the students are at and all that kind of stuff. So,
Oh, wow. What kind of work do you
I'm
do?
exhausted. I'm a training manager.
Very
Fun.
fun.
So, the reason we're calling, aside from the fact we just wanted to chat, Daniel called us and was telling us
Oh.
about your date.
Oh, so this is one of those things.
This is one of those things.
Okay.
What did you think of Daniel?
What did I think of Daniel? Oof.
If you were going to hold a training class on how to conduct yourself on a date, how would Daniel have done?
Let me just give you a little background on me. I just started dating and I was married for 24 years and I've only been out on one date. That's it.
Oh,
Since then. Yeah. My husband and now Daniel. That's it.
okay.
So as for Daniel, he's a very nice man. I enjoyed his company. We had a great time. There's just one thing that happened on the date that has left me feeling really uncomfortable. And I'm just kind of sorting through that, especially after a 24-year marriage and just one first date.
Yeah.
Well, leaving you feeling uncomfortable doesn't sound good. What happened?
Well, we're not teenagers.
Right.
And we're sitting in a restaurant booth. But, in the booth, you usually, you sit across from each other because you're talking to each other, to one another.
Yeah, so you can face each other.
Uh-huh.
Right. But Daniel, slid right down next to me in the booth.
So you're sitting on the same side by side in the booth.
Oh.
Like you did in high
Right.
school.
That's romantic and
Sweet.
cozy.
And awkward.
Yes, because it's like, well, what about my personal space? And also,
One of you left-handed?
No. Just, you just want a little bit of distance, especially right in the beginning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same way, and I'm married.
See, I'm not let me just give you a little perspective on this. So Scott and I went to breakfast, just the two of us. Don't get me wrong. We've been together almost 10 years, so this doesn't feel cringy. But we went to breakfast, and it was one of those situations where one side of the table was a booth, and then the other side of the table was two chairs that faced your back to the whole room.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not sitting like that. I said, do you want to sit on the same side? And he was like, no. And I'm like, scoot over. We are. Because I'm not sitting with my back to the whole restaurant when I could have this cushy booth next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And see everything that's going on.
Yeah. And it's okay for us to be, I don't know, 1 foot away from each other.
I don't know, though. I mean, I want to look at somebody, and that would just be really awkward to be right next to them and just have to turn, like my neck and my back.
I understand that part of it. Yeah.
I get it. It just seems really, why didn't you say move
There's
over?
gotta be more.
Yeah, Scoochie.
So that was the beginning. And then, we had a couple glasses of wine. We're waiting for dessert. And he turns to me and he puts his hands on my shoulders and he kisses me. And I don't mean just a little peck or a little kiss on the forehead or on the cheek or anything. I mean, we were downright making it out.
Mm.
So
in
how
the
was that?
restaurant, in the booth. How about it?
At the table, in the restaurant, in front of all those people. I mean, when I tell you, we ordered dessert, right? And the server just dropped off the cheesecake while we were making out.
Mm.
I mean, I'm so embarrassed.
Well, you couldn't have been that embarrassed if you were full on making out with him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the same side of the booth. What else are you supposed to do?
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a good kisser. He really was. And that's why, we were kissing, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. But
Okay.
I'm just so embarrassed from that incident.
I get it. And it was the only date you've been on since you've been divorced. So
that felt like a lot all at once.
Right. Okay. Susan, we have Daniel on the line. I want to bring him into the conversation because I want to get his feedback on what you just said. Daniel?
Honestly, I couldn't help myself. I just I was just so attracted to you, and I just felt like I needed to do it, and that was super bad timing, and I understand it, and in retrospect, when I look back, yes, I should have not invaded your personal space like that. I'm so sorry. I just enjoyed seeing you in person after having such great conversations, and I don't know, I just let myself get a little carried away, and I seriously, I really do apologize.
Well, I'm really flattered. But do you do that on all your dates?
No. I didn't realize that was your first date, and because I've been listening, I have been on 2 dates. I've never done that. Absolutely not. I was just overcome.
Oh, that's good.
I like
That's
that. I
very
was
smooth.
overcome.
Yes.
Write that one down.
True story, no exaggeration.
That was a good thing to get out of the bag.
Yeah. I mean, he did have so many flattering things to say. When you go back and go to our podcast and listen to everything that he said about you prior to us calling you, if you don't go out with him again in this moment,
Jenn will.
I think, by God, yes, I will. No, I think that you will go back and you will hear what he said about you and be like, oh, man,
Yeah.
I need to call him.
I think so too, Jenn.
Well, I did enjoy spending time with you, and I'll be willing to try again.
Hey.
Good. Give it a go. Because you've been out of the game for so long. I think I think you owe it to yourself to give this one guy one more shot.
Okay, but he has to sit across from me.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that way he can gaze into your eyes.
Yes.
And no public making out.
Oh, man.
No public making out until I don't
I said
know.
no public making out.
Public making out.
Okay.
Right.
Do it in his Camry.
Okay.
Wait till you get in the
Between
car.
lines.
Make out in the car.
Oh, God. We're going to send her running.
Like real high school.
You got me.
You guys should get like one of those rounded booths at Jeff Ruby's.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. And you could sit way far apart, one on one end, one on the other.
That's the one exception to the rule where I'm okay with sort of sitting side by
my
side. But
gosh.
even then, I'm kind of like on the corner.
Yeah.
You know?
Really? I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, well, you're a cuddler.
Come on in for the real thing.
All right, you guys, we're going to set it up. Susan, thank you for taking the call and for being a fan.
Yep.
And Daniel, appreciate you putting yourself out there.
Seriously, thank you so much, guys. I'm just ecstatic right now.
So are we. And good luck to you both.
Thanks, guys.
All right. If you need a little help with a second date update, we are your people. Just send us an email, Jeff and Jenn at WKRQ.com.
Coming up, your